Hello, everyone. Welcome to this special edition episode of the Doctor's Eyes Only podcast. I'm Lauren Oschman, and today I wanted to bring you a special message for Mother's Day. This past week, I was at a continuing education conference, and as I was entering one of the rooms for a breakout session, I usually like to sit in the front. So I was making my way to the front, and as I was passing by one of the tables, the most beautiful paper planner you have ever seen, well, that I'd ever seen in real life, not on social media, caught my eye. I mean, this was highlighted, it was color coded, there was a binder clip holding pages together, there were flags and ribbons, and it was beautiful. And I looked at the woman who was sitting by it and I said, "That is amazing." And she motioned to me, showing me that she was on the phone with her AirPods. And so I was like, "Oh, sorry." And I made my way back to the front of the room. After a couple of sessions, I was at lunch, sitting at a lunch table, and the same woman walked up and she was like, "Hey, is anybody sitting here?" I saw this is the closed planner I saw kind of in the crook of her arm. And I said, "Oh my gosh, you're the one with the amazing planner." And she goes, "Oh goodness, I've got 3 businesses and 5 kids. Like, this is how I maintain sanity." And I immediately thought to myself, she's amazing. Like, I want to spend time with her so that I can get some of this amazingness. People often talk about moms as superhuman. If we were superhuman, we'd grow more arms every time we had more kids. I do think superhero is appropriate though, because we have the same time and resources and abilities, I think, as anyone else, and somehow just managed to get an impressive amount out of it. As I was thinking about the amazingness of moms, I was kind of reflecting on just the past few months, interactions that I've had with moms in just the course of my day to day doing the work that I do. And I was thinking about the mom who joined a Zoom meeting with me while doing a low intensity Peloton ride because she was like, "If I don't combine these 2 things, the workout's not going to happen today." She's like, "The financial health is important. The physical health is important. Today is a day where I got to do them at the same time." I was thinking about the mom who is a marketing executive, currently pregnant with kid number 3, taking the primary responsibility with 2 young kids while her husband is working overnight shifts in the ICU as a doctor. I was thinking about the mom who recently launched her own medical practice because she wanted to be able to provide more personalized concierge care. She became a mom herself within the last few years, and she realized that the kind of care that she wants for her own family was not the kind of care that was accessible in her area. And so she was like, "I'm going to create this so that I can bring it to other families. Like, I have the ability to do this." I'm thinking about the mom who negotiated and accepted a position to work for another practice in her town, getting paid the same base salary to work 4 days a week versus 5, because she realized that that was just going to unlock a whole new level of the way that she could be present as a mom and still be doing everything that she wants to do in her career as a doctor. I was thinking about the mom that had her daughter all ready for prom on a Friday night. Daughter had a great night and then got up at the crack of dawn the next morning to go run and I think win her district track meets. We all know everything that goes into getting kids ready for big events. And so doing those 2 back to back and being just so proud of her daughter while she was doing it. I'm thinking about the mom who tore her ACL the week that she was responsible for a really big event for her daughter's class. And so she didn't skip a beat and pulled it off from her couch, obviously with the help of other moms to make it happen in the process. I'm thinking about the mom who's risen to very impressive ranks of hospital leadership while maintaining a clinical practice as a doctor. And honestly, her mindset about presence with her 3 kids is really inspiring to me. So I was just thinking about, I'm inspired by moms every single day. I think sometimes what we're doing kind of gets lost, right? Because we're just living in the doing it and understanding that, like, when I see a mom who's doing her thing and being awesome like moms are, it makes me feel like I have a little bit more power within me, right? And I think we're all doing that for each other, which I think is really cool. And then I think about a quote that I heard. This was years ago, and most of you have probably heard this, but this still strikes me every time I hear it. You can't be what you can't see. I follow a lot of doctor moms on social media, and I know a lot of doctor moms. And I think about the number of times that I've heard either I didn't know if I could be a doctor and a mom. I didn't know how that was going to work because I didn't have an example of that. Or, and this one gets me even more, women who were flat out told that if they pursued this particular area of medicine, they couldn't also have a family. And so I think about all of these very impressive women that I get to spend time with, right? A lot of them are physicians, some of them are executives, some of them are amazing stay-at-home moms. And like I was raised by an amazing stay-at-home mom. And I think about the inspiration that we are creating for the next generation. So my middle daughter, I've got 3 daughters. My middle is 5, and she really wants to be a doctor. I mean, this girl she's very set. She can tell you everything that goes into medical training. I told her that it was going to be really hard. I said, it's very hard to get into medical school. You have to work really hard in school and you have to excel in school to be able to get into medical school. And then I said, once you get into medical school, medical training is really grueling. I said, you don't always get a lot of sleep. You spend a lot of time at the hospital. You really, really have to want to be a doctor because it's a really hard path to get there. And she had a comeback for me. Everything I used to try to deter her, she was like, well, Mom, maybe you can just move to medical school with me. And so you can make sure that I have dinner and that I can have my laundry done and I can study for all of my classes. And then when I told her that she was going to have to work late nights and she might be really, really tired while she was going through her residency, she says, well, Mom, you can just drive me to the hospital and then come pick me up so I won't have to drive while I'm tired. So she had a comeback for everything that I used to try to deter her. She's really, really set on this idea of becoming a doctor. So she turned 5 recently, and she was given this gift that's a set of medical school. It's this book series called Medical School for Kids. And there's one for each different specialty area of medicine. So she's got radiology for kids, neurosurgery for kids, orthopedic surgery for kids, anesthesiology for kids, all of these different books. And they take you through that particular system of the body. They take you through how it works. They take you through what some of the diagnostic procedures are that those doctors use and what some of the common conditions are that those doctors treat. So as a non-medical expert, I'll say I find these books genuinely interesting and I think they educate pretty well. And she just devours these things. She goes through each one by one. And what I've started doing as she's reading these books is I've started telling her about a doctor mom who I know who's in that specialty. So she picks up the gastroenterology for kids book and we start reading about the digestive system and we start reading about intestinal conditions and different things. And I said, I know a really great GI doctor. I said, she's actually the middle of 3 sisters, just like you. She has 2 kids. I start telling her story, right? And I'm talking about her as an amazing doctor and I'm talking about her as an amazing mom. Same thing when she reads neurosurgery for kids, right? I'm telling her about this amazing neurosurgeon that I know who's a renowned doctor in her community, who has 2 kids, who cheers them on, who really enjoys, quote, doing it all and does it all really, really well. Same thing with orthopedic surgery. I told her about my emergency medicine client who had to create the path in her practice to sell overnight shifts because she was like, what's holding me back from being able to do both, be a great mom and be a great doctor is these overnights. Like this is what messes with my ability to do what I want to do for my kids when I'm not working a shift. Instead of that deterring her from being a great emergency medicine doctor, she actually changed her practice. And now other moms can come to that practice and be awesome doctors and awesome moms. So I get to share these stories of these really inspiring doctor moms that my 5-year-old is growing up with a whole different view of what her life could look like if she stays on this path and chooses to be a doctor. I don't know that it's ever going to enter her mind that she can't be a doctor and a mom. And if someone tells her that that's going to be hard to do, she'll have a comeback because she's had a comeback for everything so far. And she has example after example after example of amazing women who are doing it. So today, on Mother's Day, I want you to hear whatever your story looks like right now, however old your kids are, whatever stage you're in, whatever hats you're wearing, whatever's on your plate. You're inspiring, you're amazing, and you are doing a great job. From all of us at Vestia, we know that it's moms that make families amazing, that make communities amazing, that make everything amazing for all of us. We've all been touched by moms in one way or another. And so thank you from the bottom of our hearts for what you do for your families, for your communities, for all of us. We hope that you get to find a little bit of time today to do something that's going to make you feel great, whether that is some uninterrupted time for a workout, whether that's some intentional time with your kids, whether that's a night in a hotel where you don't have to think about being a mom, whatever's going to make you feel what you want to feel today. We hope that you get some time to do that. And we just want to say thank you.